For the 13th day of June, Friday the 13th, 2014, here's the headline, and I will provide you with the link, as I always do, to this article below in the description box. Evangelical Baptist Church in South Korea raided by police hunting fugitive billionaire Byung-Eun. Now, normally, I'm going to leave my opinions, I'm going to keep my thoughts and my opinions to myself. I want to get your thoughts. I want to get your comments on this. Normally, we're living in the end days. When we see the police come in, we take that as an attack on Christians. But let me present this story. Could this be the church of Laodicea, prosperity church that the police have raided here, that we read about in Revelation 2 and 3? Seoul, South Korea, Associated Press. Thousands of South Korean police officers stormed a sprawling church compound Wednesday in their hunt for a fugitive billionaire businessman over April's ferry sinking that left more than 300 people dead or missing, officials said. So thousands of South Korean police officers, they storm this compound. It's a compound, it's a church, looking for this billionaire businessman. Authorities believe the businessman, Byung-Eun, owns the ship and that his alleged corruption may have contributed to the sinking. Police and prosecutors have been after Yu for weeks and are offering a $500,000 reward for tips about him. Yu, 73, is a member of a group called the Evangelical Baptist Church, which critics say is a cult, and we see that a lot. Cult activity in these very, very high, top dollar prosperity gospel preaching churches. About 5,000 police officers, some wearing helmets and armed with plastic shields, raided the group's compound in Onseong, just south of Seoul, officers said, on condition of anonymity, citing department policy. 4 church members were detained for allegedly providing shelter to Yu or helping him flee, police said. Another church member was detained for allegedly trying to obstruct the raid. It was not clear whether Yu was at the compound at the time of the raid. Police said that they were still trying to find and detain more church members for allegedly aiding Yu. The compound, the size of about 30 soccer fields. Can you imagine that? This is a mega church in South Korea. A mega prosperity church in South Korea. The size of about 30 soccer fields is considered the church's headquarters, and thousands of church members gather there for services on weekends. The area contains ranches, fields, a fish farm, and an auditorium that can house up to 5,000 people, according to media reports. About 200 church members rallied against the raid, singing hymns, pumping their fists into the air, and chanting slogans. A large banner hanging near them said, "We'll protect Yu Byung-Eun even if 100,000 church members are all arrested." There were no reports of violence. Yu, head of the now defunct predecessor of the ferry's current operator, Chong-Jing, allegedly still controls a company through a complex web of holding companies in which his children and close associates are large shareholders. The government has offered a $100,000 bounty for Yu's eldest son, and one of his daughters was arrested in France late last month. The predecessor company went bankrupt in the late 1990s, but Yu's family continued to operate a ferry business under the names of other companies, including one that eventually became, I hope I pronounced this right, Chong-Hae-Jin. Yu's church, now here we go, made headlines in 1987 when 32 people who critics suspect were church members were found dead in the attic in the attic rather of a factory near Seoul in what authorities said was a collective murder suicide pact. The church has denied any involvement. You was investigated over the deaths after a probe into the dead people's financial transaction showed some of their money was funneled back to him. He was cleared of the suspicions that he was behind the suicides because of a lack of evidence, but was convicted on a separate fraud charge. Negative public views of the church grew following the 1987 deaths, but church members have since focused on legitimate corporate, there's your corporate church, a corporation, a business activities, according to Tark G. Il, a professor of religion at Busan Presbyterian University. He said the church's membership is believed to be about 10,000. The sinking, one of South Korea's deadliest disasters in decades, has caused an outpouring of national grief, and the country is undergoing national soul-searching about public safety. Nearly 2 months after the sinking, 292 bodies have been recovered, mostly students from a high school near Seoul, and 12 people are still missing. Let me get your opinion. Is this an attack in the end days on Christians, or is it simply a mega church, a prosperity church, a Laodicean church hiding a billionaire fugitive? Is it all about the money? Subscribe to my channel. Leave me comments. I'm interested to hear your take on this. God bless.